Hey, good Thursday morning. I'm coming to you from the sanctuary of St. Luke's United Methodist Church. And the reason why I'm here today is because I want to talk a little bit about being a follower of Jesus. It doesn't mean that life is going to be perfect for anybody. I have folks on my friends list who are dealing with financial issues. I have folks on my friends list who are grieving over loss of loved ones. I have folks on my friends list who are fighting cancer. I have folks on my friends list who are dealing with all kinds of physical disabilities and mobility issues. There are folks who are dealing with substance use disorders, and they have family members and friends and co-workers who are struggling with addiction. There are folks who are dealing not just with substance use disorders, but even gambling addiction. And the list goes on and on and on. And most of these folks that I'm talking about are folks that go to churches on Sunday morning. Notice I said they go to churches. Now, why do I say this? Because just because you're a follower of Jesus, it doesn't mean that bad things don't happen to any of us. And this is important because I had a person reach out to me from another state, another area of the United States, who is a follower of Jesus. And we are Facebook friends. And anyway, they were told by somebody in the community they live that the reason why their life is so difficult right now is because they're not a good Christian. Now, I don't know what defines a good Christian, because, when you look at what Paul writes about his faithfulness, he said, there are things that I do that I don't want to do, and there are things that I should do that I don't do. And in other words, Paul is reminding all of us that there's no perfection in following Christ. We all struggle. We all strive to be a follower, but we make mistakes. So when bad things do happen, does it mean you're a bad Christian? No. Because Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, he writes a letter to the church to encourage them in their good times and their difficult times to follow Jesus. Listen to what he writes here. He says, as servants of God, we commend ourselves in every way in great endurance in troubles, hardships, and distresses. Do you hear that? In troubles and hardships and distresses. So Paul, one of the greatest evangelists of the New Testament, he went through all of this. Yeah, did that make him a bad Christian? No. It just meant that being a follower of Jesus wasn't going to be an easy task. And that in order to get through those difficult times, you have to truly be a follower. That's important. So listen to what he writes here. He says, in distresses and beatings, imprisonments, riots, hard work, sleepless nights, and in hunger. I mean, these are all things that Paul went through. And yet, we may not be going through those things like Paul was, but there are things that causes distress in our lives. And there are hardships that all of us face that maybe we don't talk about. But I want you to know it doesn't mean you're a bad Christian when things happen in your life. It just means you're human. And, Paul even continues. He says that in truthful speech and in the power of God with weapons of righteousness and in the right hand and in the left, he says we continue to share the good news through glory and dishonor. Through glory and dishonor. Yeah, this is Paul. Bad report and good report. Genuine, yet regarded as impostors. Yeah, genuine. Okay, this is Paul. He's genuine, but yet he was regarded as impostors because he wasn't one of those holy Christians from Jerusalem. Okay, and then he says, known, yet regarded as unknown. Yeah, he's known by God, but not everybody knew who he was as Paul. Yeah, because he was a persecutor of the church. Yeah, he was a sinner. So anyway, it goes, dying and yet we live on, beaten and yet not killed, sorrowful, yet always rejoicing. Sorrowful. This is Paul writing from where he is in his situation to encourage the church. And I think that encouragement is needed today. Just because something bad happens in your life, it doesn't mean you're a bad Christian. It just means you're human. And read your Bible. You'll see that followers of Jesus never had an easy life. They had a life that allowed them to go on and to share in good times and in bad times. Hey, this is Pastor Bill from St. Luke's United Methodist Church, Harrisville, West Virginia, Ritchie County, West Virginia. Wherever you are, I hope you're happy, I hope you're healthy, and I hope you're safe. Have a great day, everyone. God bless.